Welcome in, guys, to another episode. It's been a while, but your boy was busy. It's been a great summer. Everyone was watching the World Cup, and this is what it's going to be about today is that World Cup recap. And I just hope you guys enjoyed everything because we had fans from all over, some that weren't even soccer fans to begin the summer, but once that World Cup started, boom, we got people from all over the world in the States, in Mexico, Canada, just enjoying this and staying up. If they stayed home in their own country, whatever time the game was on there, they stayed up or woke up or day, night, afternoon, whatever you want to call it, they were watching. With that, let's get started, man. It was a great World Cup. I don't have too much to complain about. There's always some good, always some bad, but mostly it was good. And I think the reason was this was one of the few World Cups coming into that you just didn't have that much dominant teams. Like in the previous World Cups, there's always been like 1, 2, 3, or even 4, maybe even 5 at most teams that you knew, okay, these teams had the chance to win. They were at the top. But coming into this tournament, honestly, I just seen like maybe one dominant team, which was France coming in, and maybe even Spain. But you weren't really sure where you're going to see from Spain at the beginning because they're still, relatively young. They did come in undefeated, as many of you know, and they ultimately won. But coming into it, it was just like France that I seen, okay, this is the team to beat. But that was what was special about this World Cup because we had a couple shockers, just like Spain, opening match. They drew Cape Verde, and then they almost took out the runner-ups in Argentina. But let's talk about my team. We got Mexico, man. Mexico. Won the group, clean sheets through the group stage, 9 points, and then came the extra round, the round of 32, of which we could have got to a different game. They call it a quinto partido. But it was, more overall satisfaction just because coming off the 22 World Cup, it was like bitterness because we didn't even get out of the group stage in that one. Coming into this one, we didn't know what to expect from Mexico, but we did know that we're going to see a better product just because the coaching and the players that we took this time. It wasn't our best roster, I'll say some, because other things outside of football, and then mostly the other part was because of injuries. But we did show up and we did show out. And then that game came against Ecuador. We took them down 2-0. And that made us all believe the next game against England. In my mind, we were not losing that game. Leading up to that game, throughout the whole game, I did not think we were going to lose that game. All the momentum was ours. We're playing in our stadium in front of our fans. It was crazy. But then came the mistakes. And like I said, against great teams, these top nations, you cannot make mistakes and expect to win games. I believe even all 3 goals were mistakes, honestly. Defense not getting back, and then after the first one, just another error. No one to really blame on, just on the whole team. And then the third one, too, not clearing the ball, turned into a penalty. And then the fight, was on from there. Down 2-0, we came back. We scored, trying to come back 2-1, heading into halftime. And then that third goal, when they're already down 10 man, I think that was the killer right there. We scored a second one with our own penalty. And then the last 30 minutes, man, I know every Mexico fan thought we were going to score. And it just didn't come about. It wasn't our time, our moment. I thought we were going to get to that quarterfinal game, in which I thought we would have beat whoever was in the way, which would have been Norway. But our thing ends once again at the round of 16, and a little bitter taste because we haven't got through past that game, the round of 16 game. Crazy times right there. And what can I say? And then that just ended everything for Mexico fans, man. But I still, as a fan, everyone watched because only one team could win at the end of the day. And the rest of it, France, they got through kind of a gauntlet too. But that game against Spain, man, I thought France was a better team, but coming into the World Cup, Spain was dominant over France. So I picked Spain just because the recent history between them, and they just have their number. Spain has their number. Same thing with any like other teams that come in and you face and you beat them before, but even if they're playing better, that's why I took Spain. And then Argentina, don't even get me started. They had an easy path, not all their fault, but they had an easy way. They didn't play a good team until they got to England, which England blew that game too. And then, my gosh, FIFA, man, which is getting me mad. Argentina playing the way they usually play, dirty, not receiving cards, and surprisingly to the final, when the ref had no choice but to bring out that second yellow card. But just, my goodness, just horrible refereeing in those matches. And then they had to come to grips with Spain, and I had Spain dominating this game. and still winning by 1 or 2 goals. And that's just the way they played, dominant here, dominant there. Argentina had no answer for it. And they just capitalized on the man down and took advantage 1-0, and that was a wrap in extra time. And that's all she wrote for that World Cup. But let me give you some surprising teams. Portugal, that was my number one pick to win this World Cup. I just think they had the best middles coming in, the best midfield coming in. And to me, that's what wins, like, especially in tournaments like this, especially being the World Cup. But I just could say they just didn't click. They just didn't mesh together. And what can I say? My guy Ronaldo leaves once again empty-handed at the World Cup. They did have a great game against Spain, even though Spain semi dominated too. But I think sometimes you play with luck. That wasn't a foul, which led to Spain scoring their goal to go up 1-0 and eventually win. But yeah, Portugal, that was my team. A lot of people are saying Uruguay disappointed, even somewhat United States disappointed, even though they got knocked out against Belgium. Just think the way that game went. And we had other surprises too, like Colombia. I thought Colombia was going to make at least the quarterfinals in this one. The surprising team, Norway, even though I picked them as my sleeper, Norway got to that game against England. And, there's a couple of ref decisions that one that could have gone either way. Holland coming out. But Holland showed out. And another thing is, these stars for every team showed up. Mbappe, Messi, Cristiano, some sort. Then you have, what can I say? Lamine Yamal wasn't 100%, but he had his impact in every game, even though he didn't score that much. And you can't forget about Holland as well. Great impact on that one. And just like my guy, Quiones, which surprised me even coming into this tournament. I did not expect him to have the kind of World Cup he had. Just all that wrapped together. And we got this World Cup, man. It just went by quick. That's usually how it goes. You enjoy it. You wait 4 years for it. It comes down to 3, 2, 1, and it's here and you're excited. And just like that, boom, the World Cup is here. And before we know it, 2030 World Cup's going to be here. It's going to be in Argentina, I think Paraguay, Argentina, and Uruguay, I believe. They're going to host 3 opening game matches for the century mark of the World Cup, and then the rest can be played, I believe, in Spain, Morocco, and Portugal, which are good countries. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this World Cup. Hope you guys' teams gave you a good feel for the summer, and now we wait. 2030 coming up. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching, and I'll be back with some more American football later as that season's going to come up. Thank you guys. God bless.